All right, the first of two heat races coming up now for the 602 cars. 8 laps in distance. We'll split them up into a couple of 5-car heat races instead of one gigantic 10-car heat. Everybody all home in one piece and off to the feature. 20 car of Larry Johnson out of Sussex will be on the pole. To his outside, the car number 12 from Waterloo is Greg Bowers. Row 2 to the inside of McChesney Park, Illinois, Brian Johnson in car number 17. His outside, the 2 car from West Salem, that is Adam Hansen. And at the back of the line, the 81 from Madison is Ken Dyer, and we will warm him up. And for those of you with the benefit of the pay-per-view broadcast, watching on Pit Road TV, how you doing? And for those of you on Facebook, a live look-in tonight, too. All right. I'll tell you what, Pit Road TV, I'm not just saying that because I'm on it. If I didn't believe it, I just wouldn't say it. They do a great job. 1 lap away from green here for this heat race with Larry Johnson and Greg Bowers on the front row. Then Brian Johnson, no relation to Larry Johnson. In fact, I don't think it's spelled the same. Anyway. 2-car Adam Hansen, 81 of Ken Dyer. A handful of cars for 8 laps. 602 heat race, one's ready. Pat Barrett turns him loose. And away we go. Bowers on the outside looking for the lead. On to 2, he's got it. Can he keep it? Here comes the 2 on the way as well, Adam Hansen. Bowers leads lap 1. On a high side, Hansen on the 2. Got his hands full with the 20 car, Larry Johnson, and the 17 of Brian Johnson. As Bowers begins to pull away into 12. Hansen to the outside, works himself around both Johnsons in 1 and 2. And he'll set sail for Greg Bowers in the lead. Brian Johnson looking high for 3rd. Side by side for 3rd out of 2. It's Johnson versus Johnson for 3rd. Halfway home. I think that's about all I can say. Still side by side. Brian Johnson tiptoeing up top just a little bit quicker for 3rd. Greg Bowers with 3 to go. Your leader got a big lead on Hansen in 2nd. 5-car lengths the advantage and stretching for Greg Bowers. Back in 3rd, Brian Johnson on the outside. Still trying to get to 3rd and keep it. White flag coming when they get here. Greg Bowers, your leader, heads to turn 3. White flag on, Greg Bowers, 1 to go. Still side by side for 3rd, about a 1/3 of a track behind the leader who coasts to turn 3. Greg Bowers is going to win heat number 1. Then it's Hansen. Then they're side by side for 3rd, coming to the line. Larry Johnson will hold on. Larry Johnson goes 3rd in the 20. Brian Johnson 4th in the 17. 5th to Ken Dyer in the 81. Runner up to the 2-car of Adam Hansen, and your race winner, car number 12 from Waterloo, Wisconsin. The Benninger Concrete, Stark's Garage, Little Family Daycare, The Engine Shop, sponsored number 12. He'll take the left-hand turn to O'Reilly Auto Parts Victory Lane. Your winner of first of 2 heat races tonight for the NASCAR Left-Handed Performance 602 Outlaw Late Models. Car number 12, how about it for Greg Bowers? All right, one more 602 heat race coming up for your viewing pleasure. Their 5-car, 8-lap affair with the super late models on deck. Beautiful crowd here tonight. Good to see you at DRP. Everybody keeping cool however they can. There you go. Drone's down in turn 1. Give them a look there quick. Give it a wave. You could be on television. They never catch you at the right time. All right, heat number 2 ready. Coming out of the speedway right now. Here's how they'll line up with Kenny Storkson on the pole from South Beloit, Illinois, in 54. To his outside, Pete Moore in 76 from McFarland. The 16s are in row 2. The red and white and black 16 is Madison Boreen out of St. Paul Park, Minnesota. The other 16 is Rick Bolton and the 16-ouncer from Oxford. And the 71 out of Savage, Minnesota, that is John Lemke. And we will warm them up. All right, double them up here, slow them down, get them ready to go. Fun thing about this 602 class, you've got a mix. You've got the young drivers, kind of the up-and-comers, so to speak. And then you've got guys that have been around and done some stuff, like Pete Moore in the 76, like John Lemke in the 71. 1 lap from green. All right, final heat race of the night for the 602 cars, presented by Left-Hander Performance under the NASCAR banner this year here at Dell's Raceway Park. Kenny Storkson and Pete Moore will bring him off of 4. The pistol with the lead down into 1 on the outside, trying to clear Kenny up top. In 3rd, it's the 16-ouncer, Rick Bolton. Lemke in the 4th, Boreen back to 5th. Pete Moore is your leader. Peter Moore out front in 76. Bolton to the outside for 2nd spot. He'll race door to door with Storkson. They close up a little on Moore, who didn't get out of the corner real well. Lemke closing quickly on the trio up front. Here comes John Lemke in the 71 car as Storkson wiggles a little bit in the middle of the corner. Gives 2nd to the 16 of Bolton just a little bit. Lemke climbs to the top step, looks for 3rd. Be halfway home next time by for your leader, Pete Moore. Lemke nosing into 3rd on the outside of the 71 car. Bolton closing quickly on Pete Moore for the race lead. 5 scored, 5 to go. We're halfway there. 4 scored, 4 to go. You know, math was never my strong suit. Here comes Bolton to the back end of Moore. See if Lemke can get there too. Not much time to get it done. 3 to go, for sure. 3 to go. Pete Moore, the veteran hand, up front in 76. Bolton closes in a little. Lemke closes on Bolton. 2 laps to go. Here comes Rick Bolton looking for the lead on Pete Moore. Lemke's going to go to the outside and send her on in. It's about as close as he gets. Surrender flag will fly. This time by 1 to go for Pete Moore. Lemke taking another peek up there to the outside. Doesn't have to get too hasty. Knows that his car will work up there. Checkered flag for Pete Moore. The Madison Boreen comes home in 5th. Kenny Storkson goes 4th in 54. John Lemke up to 3rd and looks pretty good in that 71 car. Runner up to the 16 of Rick Bolton. Then your heat race number 2 winner for the Left-Hander Performance 602 Outlaws. 76 out of McFarland. Club Lamar, KL Mayer Concrete, Mobile Party sponsored entry. A guy who's got a ton of laps around this place through the years. He's a winner of the final heat race of the night for the 602 cars. How about a nice hand for Pete Moore? Be awesome if Pete Moore could park her in victory lane coming up later on tonight for the 35-lap feature race for the 602s. All right, your final heat races of the night getting ready to go. It is a pair of heats for the super late model cars. Odd, even dashes. As far as the top 16 goes, which is usually what is locked in for these events, fully flipped on the odd, even dash as far as the lineup goes. We will add to those dashes the back three as far as qualifying goes. Qualifiers 17, 18, and 19. Usually the cars outside the top 16 will run a positioning race to set the lineup for the feature. We don't have to do that tonight, so we'll add those cars to the back of this race, or these races, so to speak. Even dash will be up first. The even dash coming up with qualifiers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, plus James Story. They make their way to the back straightaway, and here's how they'll line up. Starting on the pole for your even dash, 76 car from Wausau, Travis Fulm. His outside, the 100 out of Glenwood, Minnesota. That is Weston Marthaler. Row 2 to the inside, the 11 out of Columbus is Bryce Miller. His outside, the car number 2 out of Appleton is Jordan Thiel. Third row, the 5 of Penn Sauter from DeForest. His outside, the 80 car from Big Bend, Wisconsin, Ryan Farrell. Fourth row inside, 7 car, Johnny DeAngelis out of Hubertus. His outside, the 15 car from Plover, Gabe Summers. And at the back of this even dash field, the 66 out of Burlington, Wisconsin, James Story. Penn Sauter late to the alarm. Looks like Gabe Summers is electing to get behind everybody for this particular heat as well. So everybody's here and accounted for. Late but here. Try and get Penn up front if he wants to be up front. Summers may chop up there too eventually. Either way, we're going to warm them up now. Everybody's here. Heat up the Hoosiers and get ready to go. All right, get them ready to go. Pat Barrett says we're going racing next time by. 1 lap signal at the starter's stand. For Travis Fulm and Weston Marthaler. Fulm, a refugee from the State Park Speedway, which unfortunately comes apart piece by piece to this day. Weston Marthaler's had a great year weekly here at Dells Raceway Park on Saturday nights in the NASCAR late models. They are your front row. 8 quick laps. This is the even dash. Side by side, Marthaler the edge. He'll get ahead of Fulm out of 2 for the lead. Top side moving. Here comes Thiel to the outside of Fulm. Everybody on the outside get a little extra steam. Fulm's going to hold on to second, down into turn number 1. Jordan Thiel digging on the outside, trying to get ahead of the 76 of Fulm by the time they hit 3. He's got a bumper ahead as Marthaler gets away. Farrell on the outside going after Fulm for third. Gabe Summers right in the mix in the 15 car, right up there with the 80 of Farrell, who races tooth and nail with the 76 of Fulm for third, but Ryan Farrell in third. Marthaler leading the way, trying to stay ahead of Jordan Thiel. Couple and a half, the car length advantage for Marthaler in 100. Farrell third, closing on Thiel for second, halfway home. Summers to the outside, breezing into fourth around the 76 of Fulm. Johnny DeAngelis trying to go to the outside and catch the breeze as well. 3 to go. Farrell catching Thiel for second. Marthaler still with a nice lead in a 100. Summers alone in fourth. DeAngelis to the outside of Fulm for fifth. Just 2 to go for Weston Marthaler. Farrell's going to test the outside for fun, going after Thiel. See what it's got? Take some notes and head to the 100. 1 lap to go. Got to look for second on Thiel. They go side by side for second. Ryan Farrell might make the pass. Checkered flag for Weston Marthaler. For second, it'll be Farrell. What a move. Ryan Farrell went to the outside in the final 2 laps and made that pass for second. He'll go in the runner-up in the 80. Third spot to the 2-car Jordan Thiel. Then Gabe Summers fourth and Johnny DeAngelis in 5th spot. And your winner, the even dash, will head on down this way. The teenager out of Glenwood, Minnesota, down to the O'Reilly Auto Parts victory area. And the Marthaler Auto KBR Performance sponsored machine. He'll head on down and get that checkered flag. How about a nice hand for Weston Marthaler? Quality Freight Rate Super Late Model Dash #1 in the books. Big thanks to Quality Freight Rate as well, who's given 500 bonus bucks to the halfway leader in tonight's Dairyland 100, presented by Slowy Farms. Can't do it without great sponsors like that. And Spike talks about the sponsors. You see all the billboards around here and on the concourse and in front of you, and all the sponsors on race cars as well. Support those fine folks because they support auto racing. We've got it about as good as anybody as far as auto racing goes locally in this part of the world, and support those fine folks that make what we do happen. All right, here we go now. The odd dash, including your quick qualifier, Luke Fenhaus on the speedway now. Line up with Bobby Kendall on the pole, the 11 car out of Montello. His outside the 13 from Slinger, Nick Egan. Row 2, 38, Jordan DeVoy will start in the 3rd spot from Lake Geneva. To his outside, the 25 out of Waterford, Jeff Storm. 3rd row to the inside, 17, Max Kaler out of Caledonia, Illinois. Ty Fredrickson, your winner, the Trickle 99, starts 6th out of Minnesota. We'll warm him up. 4th row to the inside, the 5 of Casey Johnson. Your quick qualifier 4, Luke Fenhaus. 5th row, the 35 of Tanner Berge. And the 7 of Ridge Oing. We will warm him up. On the Pit Road TV pay-per-view, in-car camera on Jordan DeVoy's 38. For those of you watching on Facebook Live, this is your last chance to get a good look at this one before you can elect to buy it and join us for the feature races. Great job on the pay-per-view, but nothing like living it live. 1 lap from green. Those of you in the house, we're glad to have you tonight at DRP. Bobby Kendall, Nick Egan, row 1. Jordan DeVoy, Jeff Storm, row 2. Max Kaler, Ty Fredrickson, row 3. Casey Johnson and quick qualifier Luke Fenhaus in row 4. Tanner Berge and Ridge Oing tag the tail. 10 cars, 8 laps, crowded house. Quality Freight Rate. Odd dash is green. Nick Egan sails in on the outside with the lead. Kendall tries to keep up, and they drag race to 3. Jordan DeVoy into 3rd by a little bit. Storm back on his wing to the outside for 3rd. Egan's going to lead lap 1 by enough. Trying to clear Kendall into 1 and 2. DeVoy alone in 3rd. Kaler goes to work on Storm for 4th. Storm to the outside to DeVoy. We ride with DeVoy on the pay-per-view. Very close racing for 3rd spot off the 2nd corner. Behind him, big battle for 5th, almost 3 wide with Johnson and Kaler and Fredrickson out of turn 4. Casey Johnson turns it like a doorknob out of 4 and gets around both of them. Casey Johnson up the 5th, bringing Fenhaus along in the 4. Nick Egan, your leader at halfway. Storm and the 38 car DeVoy still side by side for 3rd. And they've closed on Bobby Kendall for 2nd. 3.5 car lengths the advantage for Nick Egan with 3 to go. Racing all over in the odd dash. DeVoy gets ahead on the bottom side, back to 3rd, tries to get to Kendall in the last 2.5 laps, and a whole bunch of loosey-goosey out of the 38. Dead sideways in 2, and that allows Storm to catch him with 2 to go. Wow. Egan all alone up front. Kendall has been able to get away since that bobble happened with a 38 car. White flag, 1 to go for Nick Egan. Storm nosing into third, leader in turn 3, coming around to that checkered flag. Checkered flag in the air for Nick Egan. Third place will go to Storm. Jeff Storm works his way into third in the 25. Jordan DeVoy hangs on for fourth. Casey Johnson fifth. Runner up to the 11 of Bobby Kendall, and your race winner in the quality freight rate odd dash is a 13 out of Slinger, Wisconsin. He's 10th in your current Alive for 5-point standings. The Zeller Transportation, Bonafide Security Solutions, Whole Chevrolet sponsored number 13. Headed on down to the O'Reilly Auto Parts victory area. How about a nice hand for Nick Egan? Nick Egan wins the final preliminary race of the night. Features on the way. 18 laps for the Sixers, 20 laps for the Bandits. 602 late models will go 35. And then the Dairyland 100 presented by Slowey Farms here tonight at Dell's Raceway Park. Spike?
Well, I tell you, Eric, watching them race in those quality freight race dashes, my goodness, you're going to have one heck of a call later. They look very aggressive.
They were so close in qualifying, too, and they are very fast right now. And I think we are in for a heck of a 100-lap feature coming up here in a little bit.
Well, we are into a brief intermission here at Dell's Raceway Park. Good time to get up, stretch your legs, find yourself something cold to drink, hot to eat. You get to head on over to the Trackside Grill for hamburgers, cheeseburgers, brats, hot dogs, chicken tenders. If that's not